If you're watching this show, you've probably watched a fair amount of the hearings on the Hill this week, and you probably noticed that's an awful lot of congressmen waiting an awful long time to ask their questions and waiting for their moment to shine.
Whether you think these public impeachment hearings lack, quote, pizzazz or not, there's no question it's raising the profiles of its participants, especially performers like Chairman Adam Schiff, who's cast himself in the role of defender of democracy.
They argue, well, this makes it okay that it was a failed effort to bribe Ukraine, a failed effort to extort Ukraine. That doesn't make it better. It's no less odious because it was discovered and it was stopped.
And Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, the so-called AOC of the right.
Ambassador Yovanovitch, I want to thank you for being here today.
Suspend. You're not recognized.
This is the 5th time you have interrupted members of Congress, newly elected members of Congress.
Gentlewoman will suspend.
And then there are those members who are still in what you might call supporting roles and working to make sure they're ready when a breakout moment comes along. Illinois Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi is one of 13 Democrats on the Intelligence Committee. Until a month ago, he was known on the Hill, if he was known at all, for his crusade against vaping.
What we need to see is regulations banning flavored e-cigarettes and maybe laws doing the same.
But impeachment has found him staying up late and waking up early, preparing for his turn under the bright lights of C-SPAN.
It's like cramming for final exams. It's basically spending any hour, any minute that you have to spare, just kind of reviewing deposition transcripts, looking at the social media feeds of a certain president just to make sure that he hasn't said anything about the witnesses coming up.
You're a lawyer. Are you preparing with another, counsel on your staff? Is the lawyer on the Intelligence Committee helping you guys prep for this at all?
They are helping, but, we also kind of prep internally where, people do research and then we do role playing.
Who's playing the roles? Your staff members?
Yeah, the staff members, sometimes they play multiple roles. It's very interesting. But, we try to time the questions.
As a junior member, Krishnamoorthi usually goes last after most of the juice has already been spilled. A Princeton and Harvard-educated lawyer, his questions can be technical. It's not a recipe for making the CNN highlight reel.
You pointed out the large power disparity between President Trump on the one hand and President Zelensky on the other, correct?
Yes.
There was pressure on that phone call, right?
But sometimes the other side tees it up for him, like on Tuesday when Republicans questioned the loyalty of Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman.
Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, I'm concerned that your loyalty has been questioned not just because you're bringing forward evidence of wrongdoing against the President of the United States, but because you're an immigrant.
Krishnamoorthi hopes all these moments, big and small, will help people make up their minds about impeachment. There was a recent ABC News poll that came out over the weekend that showed that 51% of Americans still believe that the president should be impeached and removed from office. But that polling is remaining steady right now. Why do you think the polling isn't moving?
I think that people are still digesting what's happening here. I think that it's
It's been more than a month since you all opened the inquiry.
Right. I think that folks are still waiting to see what all the witnesses actually have to say.
Is this potentially a waste of everyone's time if it moves to the Senate and they acquit him?
I think we have to do our duty for the current president to involve a foreign power in our elections and at the same time try to use his office to basically target a private citizen for a purely partisan personal purpose. That is wrong. So that's what is at stake right now.